everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome to my channel Fantasmic Fandoms. I just watched season 2 episode 1 of Loki and it's called Ouroboros. I believe I'm not butchering that. And there is a lot to discuss in this episode, so we're going to get into it really quick with what I thought and also with some questions that this episode brought up. Just a quick disclaimer before we get into this, I really have no idea what I'm talking about. These are just my assumptions and like what I gathered from the episode, so don't like hate on me if I don't say something absolutely in line with what you believe. Like, it's just what I believe about the episode and what I got from it. So you can get something totally different from the episode. It doesn't mean you're wrong. But yeah, this is just a space. If you want to share your thoughts about the episode, feel free to do so in the comments. Please remember just to be nice to everyone in the comments and be nice to me if you don't mind, because I don't want to have hateful comments. We're all entitled to our opinion in the comments. So overall, I really loved this episode. I thought it was a really good first episode back for season 2. I thought it was really funny, especially in the beginning. We picked up right where we left off in season 1 with Loki being in what we discover is the same kind of universe, but he is in the past. Which is not what I was expecting at the end of season 1. I was expecting him to be in a completely different timeline, which now looking back on it, it makes more sense that it's just the past tense version of the TVA, because like the TVA is supposed to not be, you know, there's not supposed to be multiple TVAs. It was created. So it makes total sense now to look back on it and be like, okay, this was the past tense. It was, you know, ruled by a variant, or maybe by He Who Will Remain himself. I assume it's a variant of He Who Will Remain based on what we've learned from him last season. But I have not read the comics. So I know there's some like, you know, Kang the Conqueror stuff that people throw out there. I don't know a lot about that storyline, but it's a name that people throw out there. So maybe this is the Kang the Conqueror that we are hearing about. So I did not rewatch season 1 prior to this episode coming out. So like some stuff I couldn't really recall, but I'm really happy that, you know, we could see how much Loki and Mobius have grown together from the past season. You know, Mobius is willing to sacrifice a lot, you know, his skin. He's willing to sacrifice his skin to save Loki. I mean, he's not super happy about the idea, but like we see him really putting himself out there and willing to sacrifice for Loki, which I think is so sweet. Owen Wilson did a fantastic job with this episode, as did Tom Hiddleston. Thumbs up to them. They did awesome in this episode. Had a really good chemistry, like really loved them together as a dynamic duo. Also really loved that we got some Loki moments of him being concerned about Sylvie. I'm a big Loki and Sylvie fan. I have learned recently that that is not common, or I guess I shouldn't say isn't common, but it's not the most popular opinion maybe in the fandom. A lot of people are not excited about Loki and Sylvie, but I am. So I was really happy with this episode and what we got from Loki in terms of the Sylvie, you know, him wanting to go and basically like make sure she's okay and like try to make sure that they don't like kill her, and like he's really genuinely worried about her, which I think is promising to me, because obviously they did have a really hard last episode. So I was happy to see that he did still care about her, obviously, and was wanting her to be okay. I will say I think my favorite moment of the episode is the end credit scene where Sylvie goes to the fast food restaurant, and I was really kind of confused at first. Like, she was hilarious with how she was interacting with the guy, but I was like, why are you like turning around and looking around while this guy is trying to like take your order? But to see her like taking it all in, it's really like an emotional moment for her, because like this is all she's ever wanted and she's gotten it. Like, she's getting to be a part of this world and, you know, see people interact and get to have the potential to have a family and have, you know, settle down. And like, I think it's just an overwhelming, exciting moment for her. Like, as she said, she's going to get to experience everything. So I really liked that scene. I was happy they added it in, because this whole episode was about chaos and like everything going wrong. But like that one moment for Sylvie, everything seemed to have gone right for the time being. You know, obviously she's not going to stay in that happy state. It's good to see Sylvie happy, even if it's just for a moment, because of all that she's been through from, you know, Rimslayer and the TVA. She's been through a lot. So I'm happy she got to have her moment. I think there were some funny moments too in this episode, and probably my 2 favorite funniest moments. One of them was Mobius wearing that ridiculous suit to go and try to save Loki. He literally looked like a marshmallow man. I thought it was hilarious. And also Mobius and Loki fighting about Loki and Sylvie's battle and who was the winner. And Loki was like, well, I mean, I know who the winner was, you know, obviously. And also, I just really loved all the times that they mentioned burning skin. Like, they mentioned it a lot. Obviously, it bothered Mobius that it was a possibility, and it was really funny. But, like, it added... I like how in the show they add some light to some serious scenes. Like, the scenes are really serious. Like, this happening to someone would be a really serious thing, but they add a lot of light to it and humor, and I really do enjoy that. Okay, so I have several questions here that I want to ask you guys, and I also have my own opinions. The first one being, who do we think pruned Loki? And I am so confused about this one, guys. I really am. I want to know what y'all think. I think that it potentially is the hunter that went after him, like the leader of the group sent by what was that person's name? Dox. The hunter from Dox's crew. I think that there's a possibility that it is that hunter that maybe, like, because he's in the future, like maybe he found her and he helped her. I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe it's like Loki from the, like, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. My thoughts are either Dox's hunter, that was like the leader of that group, that he like found Sylvie, because that was his job. He found Sylvie and his mind got changed by her somehow. He agreed to help her. Since it's the future, maybe Loki himself, like maybe Loki in the future goes and does it. Like, I don't know, because we see Sylvie there, but Sylvie doesn't look like our Sylvie. She looks very different. She has different hair, a little bit, like her clothes are different. So it's very confusing. Also, the telephone ringing. The telephone ringing threw me off. Like, I'm like, why is there a phone ringing? Am I missing something? Do we think that the Sylvie in the elevator is still our Sylvie? Is it like just our Sylvie of the future, or is it a variant? These are some other questions I have. Do we think we're going to see like another Sylvie variant? Because we haven't seen one yet. So yeah, also, like, what do you guys think about Renslayer and the One Who Remains? I feel like I was a bit more shocked than I probably should have been about that reveal, because I do think, looking back, they obviously built that up in season 1 of her like working with He Who Remains, but it made it seem like she doesn't know like everything about him, that she still had like a lot of mystery to it. So that was kind of confusing. Yeah, in this episode, obviously we see that they were working together. So that's very interesting. I do think I think the context of that audio was her working with He Who Remains. Maybe it's the context of her working with the evil ruler. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this review. This was kind of chaotic because it's late at night, but also there was a lot going on in this episode. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a really good first episode back of the season. I'm super excited to see what they do with episode 2, because I'm a big Loki and Sylvie fan, and obviously next episode they're going to search for Sylvie, and that makes me so excited because I want to see Loki and Sylvie reunited really badly. And I think Loki wants to see himself and Sylvie reunited very badly. And yeah, I think there's still hope for that couple. If anyone who is watching this is also a fan of them like I am, I do think that like there is a little bit of hope left for them. So don't be discouraged, guys. Like, I think there's a tiny chance, like it may not be happily ever after, but there's a tiny chance that they're going to have some good moments this season. So if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments down below what your favorite moment from episode 1 was, and let me know any of your thoughts to the questions I asked, because genuinely I have no idea. Like, these were just all guesses. I don't read the comic books, and I don't think they're following the comic books exactly, because I don't think Loki is in the comic books for Kang the Conqueror, so I don't know what they're really doing with all that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really would love to read all your comments, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!